Morning everyone, welcome to this workshop on learning MS Excel. So what are we going to cover in this workshop is, this is the complete agenda and we will go line by line. I'm going to tell you all the various different options that are available in Excel which can make our life quite easier. Okay. To start off, we are going to cover essential Excel functions. What are the various essential Excel functions that one should know as a MS Excel user? Then comes get data. Okay. So we have various different formats through which we can actually get data in our Excel. Okay. So we can actually import our data from text file, CSV file, PDF file, image also. So we have an option of actually uploading an image, and from that image we can get the data. And the best part is I can get the data with the help of web. That is, if I have a website URL, I can get the data from that website as well. Then how to create a table? Okay, so how to whatever the data that we have, how can we actually convert it into a table, and what is the benefit of converting it into a table is something that we are going to see. Then what are slicers? Okay, how can we create the slicers? Then how can we create the charts? Okay, again, very important method, and I'll show you some of the best methods and some of the easiest methods to create charts in Excel. Okay, again, Excel is has actually developed a lot of capabilities as far as creating the charts are concerned. Okay, then we'll see what are the various pay special options that are there. So what I've tried to do is that I have tried to include whatever the important things which a professional uses, which I use in my daily life. Okay, I have tried to incorporate those options here. Go to function, pivot table. Okay, many of you might be knowing how to create a pivot table, but I am going to tell you there is one more option which is called data model. How can you put the data under a model? Okay, so that is also one of the key things. And flash fill, again, very important tool, and flash fill can actually save a lot of time of yours while doing some manual work. Okay, so as you can see in our first part itself, there are a lot of things that are covered. Then comes the most important formulas, right? Like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, if condition, if error, index match. The most difficult options, which are considered the most difficult options, we are going to learn that also. XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is a new formula that has replaced VLOOKUP. Okay, so if you know HLOOKUP now, if you don't know VLOOKUP, that is also fine. Okay, that is a very powerful formula. Then there is some option related to transpose, offset. Okay, so as you can see, the content is very much wide, and I have made sure that we can include whatever the formulas that are required in day-to-day life can be covered. Then we have count options: count A, count if, count if S, SUMIFS. Okay, SUMIFS, again, very important formula to learn. Okay, for your analysis purpose. Subtotal, sequence, EO month, that is end of month. Okay, then some text related formulas, right? Concatenate, left, right, mid, trim, len, filter. Filter is also one of the very good options that are available. Sort, unique. Okay, so if you see, I have made sure that whatever the best formulas that are there in Excel and which are very much required, whether you are a beginner or whether you are a experienced user of Excel, these formulas can help you do your work faster and smarter. Then not just that, we are also going to explore some of the AI tools. Okay, now the time has come where we have started integrating AI to all these Excel related formulas, right? So that part also we are going to see how to integrate these AI tools. Okay, and at the same time how to use these AI tools to generate formula. So for example, sometimes if there is a new user, he doesn't know anything about the formulas. Okay, then is there any option in AI, in today's AI world, that we can actually create our formulas in AI? The answer is yes. So we are going to learn how to create formulas with the help of ChatGPT At the same time, we are going to, we are going to see some tools also, which can help you generate the formulas. Okay, like ChatGPT, there are some other tools also. And I'll also show you some of the automations that we can do with the help of VBA. Again, VBA is a programming language. Okay, but here we are not going to learn any language. What we are going to do is that we are going to use AI to generate a code for us, and we are going to run that code in Excel, right? So let me just, so this is what we are going to see in the next whatever 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours we are together. Okay, and I'll make sure that I'll try to teach you these formulas in a way that you will not be able to actually forget it in the days to come, right? So let me just stop share for the timing. I guess the agenda is clear to everyone. Yes, no? I hope the agenda is clear. Okay, great. And request, those who can, please keep your cameras on. It becomes really difficult to actually speak to all these blank screens. So would request, no matter where you are, what you are doing, you can just keep your camera on and I'll be able to understand, okay, whether you are getting it or not, okay? Right? So let us start. Let me create. So the first option that we are going to see is get data. Okay, how to get data from different sources. Now, before that, let me just show you what are the various sources that are available right now with me. As you can see, I have CSV file. Okay, what is a CSV file? CSV file might look like a Excel file, but it is not an Excel file. It is a comma separated file. How the Excel file looks? The Excel file looks like this, Microsoft Excel worksheet. Now, the format of these two files are different. Till now, we have learned how to actually open this file in MS Excel. Okay, but here we can actually upload a CSV file also in MS Excel. There is a method to it. Okay, that we are going to see. Then all the different files that I have a data image. Okay, so I have an image also. As you can see, I have a table which is in the form of an image. Okay, now we are going to see, okay, how to upload this image and get the data. That is also possible. So you can get the data from a screenshot also, right? That is what is the power of this option, right? Then we have PDF. Okay, so many of you might have, it becomes difficult for us to understand how can we upload. So for example, in this PDF, I want this table. So what I'll do, I'll just manually copy it and paste it. But sometimes while doing a manual copy paste, we somewhere, don't get the formatting right. Okay, so how to avoid that? I can avoid that with the help of Excel get data option, right? So all the tables that are there, as you can see, there are 3 tables in this PDF. 1, 2, and 3. So all the 3 tables, if I want, I can get it in Excel. Clear? So this is also one of the things that I'm going to see. Then text file. Okay, so if I have some text file in the form of this, okay, so this file, if I want this data into Excel, again, I do a manual copy paste, but while doing a manual copy paste, formatting becomes a big challenge. So I am going to upload this file as it is without doing any copy paste into Excel. Okay, so let us start. First of all, I'll create a new sheet. Okay, sheet 2. Okay, I'll just name it as get data. Okay, now what do I need to do? I need to go into this option called data. Can you see this data option? And there's an option here, get data, right? So if you go and get data from file, so see, there are various different options from which you can take your file. So you can take your file from Excel workbook, text, CSV, XML, JSON, PDF, and folder. Now, first of all, let me just take the file from a CSV. Can you see this option, /CSV? So if I'll click on from text /CSV, so see, it is opening the window of my drive. I'll just go into my file that is in desktop. In desktop, I have this workshop. I have this CSV file. See, only 2 kind of files are showing. Why? Because I have selected text /CSV. So it is going to show me text file and CSV file. So I want to select the CSV file. As you can see that I cannot see my Excel file. Why I cannot see the Excel file that was there? Because that is in Excel format. I have selected a text/CSV format. So here I can just click on this CSV file and I'll click on import. So now it is going to create a connection. Can you see this? This is the table that I have in this CSV file. Okay. This is the table that I have in my CSV file. Now what I need to do, I need to just load. So as you can see, the table that was there in my CSV file has been uploaded in the form of a table. And here I can see the connection. So the connection is with this CSV file. Clear? This is how we can create a connection between files. So see, with the help of with a new name called CSV file, my data has been created, right? So it shows me that this data has been taken from a CSV file. Clear? Now let us go and see the next option, that is text. So I'll follow the same point, get data from file. This time again I'm going to go into text CSV, but this time I'm going to select the text file instead of CSV. So see this text file I have, and see the magic. Okay, just you import the data and see the entire data that was there in my notepad file has been uploaded along with the columns and everything. Okay, everything is sorted. Okay, I am just going to load it. So see, my data has been copied in the correct format also. Even the format has not been compromised. Okay, right? This is how powerful this get data option is, right? Clear? Is there any doubt between text and CSV file? Okay. So let us see and explore some more options. Again, let me go into get data from file. This time I am going to go for a PDF. Now, if you remember, I told you that there is a PDF file in which there are 3 tables, right? I don't want the text. So in Excel, what do? We use the data which is in the form of rows and columns, right? That is what Excel is meant for. We are not concerned about any other data. We want table data. So wherever there is a table data, be it text file, be it PDF file, be it CSV file, any file, be it any website related data, if it is in the form of tables, Excel can actually grab that. Okay. So now I'm going to click on this PDF. This is the best part. Okay. Right. This is the most important part where I am getting data from the PDF. So I'm just going to click on from PDF. And here I have a PDF file, which I showed you, which if you remember, there were 3 tables into it. I'll just click on that and import. So see, can you see this? Multiple tables have been shown to me. Now, if I click on this, so I'll see this is the table that was there in PDF. So this table I don't want. So I'll just go into the next one. Can you see this? This is the table that I want. Okay. So I'll just click here, select multiple items. So I'll just click on here and I'll click this table because this table I want. Next table, this table also I want. And see, it is in the exact format. I'll just click on this table. Now this table also I want. 3 tables I wanted. So this table also I want. Click on that. And here there's an option called load. So again, connection will be made and 3 tables will be uploaded. I think there's some error. Just a second. Okay, let us try it one more time. Let us try to do it one by one from PDF. Okay, select the PDF. For example, for the time being, I am loading this data. Let us see. So see, the table has been extracted. Okay, right? So in this way, see, it is exactly in the same format. If I show you the PDF, so see, this was the table. Can you see this? This was the table. In the exact same format, my table has been uploaded here, right? This is how you can actually use this get data option to get the tables, right? I hope this is clear, right? So let me just rename it as PDF. So that we can see that we have actually uploaded from CSV, text file, and PDF. Okay. Now, again, let me go into get data from file. Now, see, there's one more option called from folder. Now, this is very interesting. Let me first show you how the data is. Can you see this connect folder? So in connect folder, I have 4 files, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is employee related data. Okay, employee related data that is there. Let me just show you the data. So first employee 1. So see, this is employee related data in first sheet. Okay, the employee ID from 1001 to 1025. It is there in this sheet that is called EMP1. And if I go into the next sheet, so here employee ID 1026 to 1050. That means I have my employee related data in bits and pieces, but the format is same. The columns, names, and everything is same. It is just that these are separate. These are in separate file. Now, if I want to combine that in Excel, what do? We just do a manual copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. But let me give you a scenario where there are hundreds of files in a single folder. How many times are you going to do a copy paste? You should have a single time solution so that you just select the folder and all the files in that folder can be merged automatically, right? So here what we are going to learn is we are going to learn how to automatically get and merge the data in Excel without doing a manual copy paste. I hope the requirement is clear, right? So when we have to merge all these files, what do? We just copy and paste one after another. It is a manual activity. It is a tedious activity. So what I want is I want to actually avoid this activity. Okay. So how can I avoid this activity? By getting the data from folder. So I'll go into from file. Can you see this option from folder? Let us explore that. Now see, it is asking me which folder data do you want. Okay. So my folder is in desktop, and under desktop, this is my workshop related data, and this is connect folder is my folder in which I have all the files that I want to connect. So I'll just open that folder. Can you see this? All the 4 files are there. All the 4 files are there in this folder. Now here, if you go down, there are options, combine and load. So if I click on combine and load, then all the data which was there related to employees will get combined in Excel itself. Let us see whether it works or not. Okay. So if you remember, in my employee 1 file, there was employee ID 1001 to 1025. But if I filter here, can you see this? After 25, there is 26, 27. Correct? So all the data has been merged till 1100. So my 4th file had So that means this is a 100 employee data, which I have merged, okay, with a single click. Now, if you do and even merge 4 files, it takes you somewhere around 5 to 10 minutes to copy paste manually. Okay. What if there were 100 files? You might not be able to do it even. In that case, this one option can help you connect the entire folder. Here it gives you the source also. Can you see the source name? What is the source name? The source name is employee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it can also tell you that which data is coming from which file. That is source name. Right? Clear? I hope this option is clear. Right? Now, okay. So I would request everybody to keep your cameras on if possible. Okay. I guess I can see Sam and I can see one more person. I can see Jeevan G also. Okay. Okay, super. So till now, whatever I have discussed, I guess it is very, very clear. Okay. And these are very, very easy options to actually implement. Okay. You don't need to, do any rocket science in doing all these options. Okay. Now, let us see something more interesting. Let us go into data. So we have covered folder, PDF, text, CSV, Excel. Of course, Excel, from Excel, you can very well do it. Now, what if I tell you that there is a data which is there on a website? It is not there in any file. It is directly there in the website. Now, if I want to get that data from the website, is it possible for me? Yes. How? Let me just show you the website first. So there is a website called screener.in. I hope those who are trading in stock market, they might know this website. Okay. So what screener.in does is that it gives you the details related to a particular stock. Okay. Now, can anybody name me any stock? Any name of the stock in the chat box so that I can search here? Yes. Nobody is coming. Okay. Zomato. So this is Zomato stock, right? So this website gives you all the details related to a particular stock, how the movement has been. Okay. What are its competitors, quarterly results, okay, profit and loss, balance sheet, everything is there. Now, I don't want to analyze this company's data in this screener. I want, because I am an Excel person, I find things interesting when they are in Excel. Is there any option to get this data in Excel? Of course, the website also gives you an option to export data to Excel, but the problem is you need subscription for that. You should be a paid user, right? But we are not a paid user. We believe in doing a lot of things for free, right? So now what we are going to do is that we are going to do it for free. Okay. So first of all, let me just copy this URL. Okay. I'll just copy this URL. I'll go into my Excel, right? Now in Excel, I have, can you see this option from web? After get data, there's an option called from web. So I'll click on this from web option. And it is asking me, so it is a very simple step. It is asking me to put the URL. I'll just put the URL which I have copied. That is Zomato. Correct? I'll press OK. So now it is creating a connection with that website. Okay. And see the magic. All the tables in that website, all the tables, all means all, every table format that was there in that website can be extracted. So as you can see, sales related data. Okay. Whatever data I want, all the tables are here. So if I want to get the balance sheet related numbers, I can get that data also, right? So all the tables that were there in that data can be extracted. So for example, I want to take this table 14. So again, simple step, I'll just click on load and see table 14 has been uploaded. Now, if I want to create, for example, if I want to create a chart, okay, if I want to create a chart or something related to Zomato, I can clearly, I can do it in this file itself. I don't need any screener.in to tell me or to give me the information, because I have extracted all the information in this in my Excel file. Okay, so I'll name it as web. Okay. I hope this is clear, right? So here, this is the most powerful option. Okay, now I have made a lot of projects for my clients who are who actively do all these options trading. So what happens in options trading? There is a NSE data. Okay, so those who are doing all these daily trading, they know that option trading, there's option chain data that is there. So they have to analyze that data. So that comes directly from the website. So this option can help you connect your Excel with the website so that you can get real-time information in this form. Correct? Clear? Now see, till now we have seen how to get the data from CSV, text file, PDF, web, folder. Okay, right? So these were the options that we have seen as far as get data is concerned, right? Now there is one more option which is still pending, is image. Okay, I told you that I can actually get the data from an image also, right? So as I showed you that I have an image. I have an image. The image has a table. So what Excel is focusing on is the table. Wherever there is a table, it can recognize that table, that is rows and columns, and get you the data. The only criteria is the information that you are pasting should have some data. Clear? Let us see. This is very, very powerful option actually. Now here I have an option of from a picture from a file. Can you see this picture from a file? I'll click on that and I'll just select the data image which I have. I'll just insert. Let us see whether it works or not. So see, it is, my image is getting converted into a data. Okay. So my image is getting converted into a data, and see, the data has been extracted from that image. Now, the only work that I need to do is I need to insert data. See, my data has been inserted. Okay. In some cases, there has been an error, but 90% of the data is inserted. Can you see this? Right? Clear? Okay, Sam is asking, can we take from a screenshot? Yes, we can take from the screenshot also. Okay. Let me just show you also. I hope my screen is visible to everyone, right? In case, so see, when you are taking a screenshot from a web, for example, okay. So there are 2-3 options of doing it. One is, let me just see if there is any table which has some data. Okay. So this is one of the image, okay, which has some data. Can you see this? This image has some data, right? So if I want to screenshot it, let me take a screenshot. So for example, this data I am taking this screenshot only. Okay. So I've taken a screenshot. Now I need to go into Excel, go into data. Can you see this second option, picture from clipboard? So because I have taken a screenshot, Excel has understood that there is something there in the clipboard. Okay, clipboard means whenever you do a copy or when you do a screenshot, it goes into a clipboard. So I'll just click on clipboard and it has started running by itself. Okay, so it has started. See, this was the screenshot that I took, right? Now I can insert this data. Okay, insert anyway. Can you see this? So this is so powerful that even a screenshot is giving me the data. This is the data, right? Exact data has been copied. In some lines, you will always have some error, okay? And this was given by the Excel also. But see, if you know, otherwise what you would have done, you would have written all the 10 lines, okay? Instead of doing that, you got the data for at least 9, out of 10, 9 line item data is correct. Only 1 line item, there's an issue which you can resolve it manually also, right? So screenshot also it works. All you need to do is that you need to first take the screenshot, come here, go into data, from clipboard you have to select instead of from file, from clipboard. Or if you are facing challenge in doing through the clipboard, I would suggest you first you take a screenshot, go into Paint or any other software, save it as a JPG format, and then import it from a file. Okay, so there are various different options. You can directly do the same from the screenshot also. Now let us see how to create charts. Okay, this is interesting, and this is the most easiest way to create a chart. Let me just go into where's my file? Yeah, create table, this one. Now see, if I want to create such some visual, okay, many a times it becomes difficult for people to understand, okay, how to create a chart, what is x-axis, what is y-axis, okay. So instead of going into those, those things, we can actually ask the Excel to recommend us certain kind of visuals. For example, let me just create a pivot. I hope everybody knows how to create a pivot, but I'll show you also. If I want to create a pivot, I'll go into insert. So this will cover our pivot option also, right? Which is there in the agenda, right? Let me just create a copy of agenda so that we can go back and forth to the agenda, right? Right. So agenda, I have created a new copy so that I can refer to it. Okay. So in my agenda, there is an option which I need to cover, that is pivot table also. So we are going to cover pivot table and charts simultaneously. Okay. So under, in the create table, whatever the table that I have, I'll go into insert and pivot table. So pivot table I'm going to create and click on OK. So this is the pivot table that has been created. Always try to go into pivot table options and display as classic pivot table. Always go for this classic pivot table option. Why? Because it will give you an opportunity to put your rows and columns. So you know that what is going to get put in rows and what is going to get put in columns. Okay. So now, for example, I want to create a category wise sales. So I'll just put category under rows and 2021 as a value. So this is how my summary related to sales have been created. Now let me just do it, sort largest to smallest. So I can clearly see that out of this analysis, I can see that this fashion is the highest selling category, correct? Now, if I want to show this number in the form of a chart, okay, so it is very, very easy. It is easier than we think, okay. So I'll just select this columns. Don't select the total in the chart. Whenever we are going to create a chart, make sure that you are not selecting the total column. Okay, we should avoid total column because I don't want the total column to be in the chart. Now, I have selected this. I'll go into insert. You don't go on all these options of chart. You just go into recommended chart option. Just click on that. It will give you the recommended chart based on this kind of data. Okay, clear? So whatever chart is recommended by Excel, it is better to use that without applying our own mind. Okay, of course you can do the changes, but this is the best way of creating a chart. For example, I want to go for a pie chart. Okay, I'll just go into recommended charts. For example, I want this pie chart. I'll just select that and okay, that's it. My chart is ready. So instead of putting so much effort into, going into insert and then choosing the chart that you want, and then you need to check whether my chart, whatever chart that I'm going to create, is it going to be the correct chart or not, correct type or not? Okay, instead of doing that, we can use this recommended chart option. Now here, there are some editing options that are available. If you click on this plus sign, there's an option of data label. So if you click on data label, so it will show you the values also, right? And then you can select those and make it bold. Okay, okay, make it underline, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, you can give the something like this. Can you see this? You can change the formatting also of all the values that are there, right? So from now on, I would suggest you to use this recommended chart option. Let me just copy this table and show you one more of that same kind. Right now, instead of category, I'm going to put subcategory. So subcategories are many. So again, I am selecting the data. Okay, I am going into insert, correct? And going into recommended charts. So I'll see whatever recommended chart that is available. Okay, I'll choose one of the charts and my job will be done. Okay. See, why I'm saying this recommended chart, see, pay attention. You cannot create this chart type because the data inside a pivot table. Please select a different chart type or copy the data outside the pivot table. That means what it is saying is, if you want to create this tree map, you want the data to be out of the pivot table, right? Now, why I use recommended chart is because it tells me what is the issue. Okay, so that I don't get confused with the things. Sometimes we get confused why this chart is not getting created, right? Now I see that tree map, it is not good that I should have a data in the form of pivot. So what I can do, let me just copy this data and paste it here outside the table. So now it is a plain table. It is not pivot table. Now let us try and go into insert recommended charts. Always go for recommended charts. Okay. Can you see this? Now tree map is getting populated. This is also very good chart. Let me just open it. So see, this is called tree map. Let me just remove this. Can you see this? This is also one of the best way of showing your category and subcategory. This is what we call a tree map. Right? Clear? So in this way, you can create your charts. And with this, you can, of course, you can create stunning dashboards in Excel also. So if you combine all these charts at a single place, that becomes your dashboard. Okay, clear? So if you compare, the earlier form of Excel and today's Excel, okay, it has improved a lot in terms of charting. But again, for charting, it is best practice to use tools like Power BI. They are very dynamic. Okay. But in case, if you want to create some visuals in Excel because of some job requirement, you can create with the help of this options, right? Okay, charts is there already. Okay. Is that clear? Now let us go into our agenda, see if what is the next thing that we need to see. Yeah. let me just save this file as agenda so that okay. So pay special. Okay, so pay special. Many of you might have used it, or if you have not used it, I'll tell you there are some very nice features in pay special. Okay, which I want you to use. So one of them is transpose. Okay, so transpose is also one of the point that we have in our agenda, right? Correct. There's somewhere transpose is there. Can you see this transpose? So we are going to see this transpose and pay special together. Okay. So what is pay special? When I copy a particular data, and if I want to paste it, so either I can paste directly or I can paste it as a paste value. So I'll click here and go into paste special. Okay. So here I have multiple options of pasting this data. I can paste it as a formula, as a value, just like I did, if you remember, I did for this. So this is a pivot table, okay? This is a pivot table, right? So if I copy this pivot table and I try to paste it as it is, so what will happen? A pivot table will be copied, but I don't want to copy a pivot table. I want to copy value. I want to copy, static values, not dynamic pivot table. So what I can do is that I can go into paste special. I can select value instead of all. So if I select all, exactly the same pivot table will be copied. Instead of doing that, I am just putting values. So I'll just press OK and only values will be selected. Now, one more best way of using, this paste special is to copy format. For example, I like this format. So I'll copy this and I'll select this area. Right click, paste special, and this time I'm not going to paste anything else. I'm going to paste only format. So what is going to happen? Whatever the format that was there in that pivot table, the same format will come here. So I'll click on format and OK. So see, the same blue headers and blue totals have come, correct? Right? So this is a way through which you can format copy your format also. Okay. Then yeah, the best part about this paste special is, let me just show you one more thing. So this is the data, right? This is the data that is paste special, right? That means it's the value data, right? Now, for example, for some reason, I want to multiply all these values with 4. I want to multiply all these values with 4. Okay. So what do we do in in normal parlance? I'll just do here. I'll go into selecting the cells into 4. So that's how I'll make the values 4 times. Okay. Now, is there any other way of doing it? Yes. What I can do is that I can just write 4 here because I want to multiply it by 4 times. Correct. I'll just copy here and I'll select the values that I want to multiply with 4. What I am doing is I am just selecting the 4 which I want to multiply. Correct. And I am selecting the area or the cells which I want to multiply with 4. I'll click on paste special. Here, instead of all, I am going to put formula. And if you can see in operations, there is an option called multiply. So if I click on multiply, what will happen? This 4 will get multiplied to all the values. Can you see this? Same way, if I want to divide this 4 with all these values, I can very well do that with using the same option. Paste special, formula. This time I'm going to use divide. Same way I can use add, I can use subtract also. Correct? And okay. See, the values are done. So this is the best and the easiest way where you don't need to actually create a separate column and do a lot of work. Okay. This increases our efficiency in terms of. Do you want to see it again? Do you want me to explain it again? Anybody? I think I saw some comment in the chat. Okay. Let me show you one more time. For example, if I want to add 1 lakh, sometimes these things scenario comes to us, right? Let us add 1 lakh to all the units and so forth. I do it a lot, a lot of times. What happens is that when we order, so I work at a client place, so he wants to order certain quantity. So and the maybe the demand, sorry, the supply is short. So what he does is that he has done all the calculations. Now he does it divide by 2. So he asks me to divide every value in the table by 2. Every value, not a single column, every value. Okay. So in those cases, these kind of formula works wonders. You can do a lot of work in just a very limited period of time. So let me just show you how to add. Okay. So for example, 1 lakh has to be added to each and every value. So what I'll do, I'll just copy here, select the area. So try to see the steps. Okay. First you need to copy this, then select this area, go into right click, paste special, formula, and this time I'm going to use add option. Correct. And press OK. So now see, everywhere 1 lakh has been added. Clear? So in this way you can use paste special, very, very important option. Now one more option that is there, that is called transpose. What is transpose? Right now, as you can see, that name is in rows and values are in rows. Okay. Now, if I want to change, this is what we call a vertical table. Correct? Vertical table. Vertical table means all the names are there in the row categories or in the row layout. Okay. Now, if I want all these names to be in column, just like this. So I want A to be a separate column, B to be a separate column, and under A, 10 should be the value, under B, 20 should be the value, right? Sometimes we want to show the data in this fashion. Now, is there any option to do it without doing this manual copy paste? Yes, that the option is called transpose. Okay. So select, first of all, you need to select the data. You need to copy the data and you need to go the place where you want to paste it. Right click, paste special. Here, everything will be the same. The only thing that you need to do is you need to select on this transpose and click OK. Can you see this? All the names have come as a heading and all the values are just beneath that. This is called horizontal table. Correct? Now, for example, you have a data in the horizontal table. Now you want the same data in vertical table. How can I go back? I'll just copy this. Paste special. Again, I'll go and transpose. So see, again, my data will be in the vertical format. Okay. Again, very, very powerful option that can be used, and I use it quite often because there are times when I need to clean the data with these options. Correct? Is that clear? Okay. I hope this is clear, right? Let us go back to agenda. What? Yeah, so we have seen paste special, go to function, again, very, very important. So in go to function, there is one option that is very important. Let me just show you here only. F, G, H, I, J, K. Okay. So I have a table like this, okay? So I have a table like this, okay? Now I have certain blank spaces. For example, I have a blank here, 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 and so on, okay? Now this is the kind of data that I have, okay? Now I know one thing, that if there is a blank means nothing but that the value that is there at the upper level. Like for example, this cell is blank, this one is blank. Okay, so what value should come? This value should come. Actually, B should come here. In the same way, here there is a blank. So which value should come? E should come. Here there is a blank. So which value should come? G should come. We come up with these scenarios, right? Sometimes when we create a pivot table, right? When we create a pivot table, while creating a pivot table, you lose some of the values. Okay. And if you want to fill this blank, okay, what you need to do, you need to manually copy paste like this. Right? Something like that. But now this can be done when there are 10 line items, 15 line items. What if the line items are more than that? 10,000, 20,000 line items. You cannot manually copy paste all these things, right? How to resolve this issue? So there is an option called go to blank. Okay, go to blank. How can we use that? First of all, we should have a logic in mind that wherever there is a blank value, that means whatever is there at the top will come at the bottom. So this is a logic that I am putting. You might be having some other logic, okay? But here the logic is okay. One more logic can be that all the blanks will be filled with null, NULL. That is also a logic, okay? But right now, what logic I am taking? I am taking a logic that if there is a blank space, whatever is the value in the previous cell will automatically come here. So in this case, B should come here. Clear? Is that clear? Right? So now how to resolve this? First of all, let me put a simple formula of referencing in this column. In H11 is equals to, I'll just reference it to previous column. Right? This is what is the logic. I want to reference this cell with the previous cell. Okay, so if there is a blank here, I will reference it with previous cells. Okay, now I want to copy this formula everywhere. So what I need to do, I need to manually copy paste this formula. Can you see this? So automatically, whatever is the value in the just previous cell, it is going to take automatically. But again, in this kind of exercise also, I will have to do a manual copy paste again and again. How can I avoid this manual copy paste? The answer is go to special or go to blank. So first of all, in one cell, what you need to do, you need to put a referencing, for example, B. So what I am saying the system is, if there is any blank, okay, whatever is value that is there in the previous cell, you have to just copy paste in the next cell. So I have just I am going to copy this formula. I am just going to copy this formula and select the entire row. It can be 10,000 line items. You select the entire row. Sorry, entire column. Now, here, let us, under search, okay, let us go into go to special. Can you see this option, go to special? If you click on go to special, this dialog box will come. Now, what go to special does is that it selects a particular column with a particular criteria. So if I'm going to ask this go to special to select blanks, so it will select the blank and click OK. Can you see this blanks are getting selected? So there can be 10,000 blanks. And if you want to put a single value there, you can do that. But the first step is you just select this cell and then go to special, select the blanks, and now the work is easy. Just press Control V. Can you see this? All the previous cell values are automatically. Can you see this? All the previous value are automatically filled. Okay. This is what we call filling the blanks. If there are any blanks in the data, how you can fill it with the help of these options. Now, for example, instead of putting a formula, I wanted to put null. Null as a value wherever there is blank. So what I can do, I can just copy this null, select the entire table, go to special, blanks. So see, wherever there are blanks, the blanks will get selected, and press Control V. So wherever there is a blank, null has been pasted. Clear? So this is a best way of using go to special as an option.
Okay.
Clear? I hope this is clear, right? Yeah. Pivot table, I have already told you. Flash fill, this is very, very good option. How many of you have used flash fill in your Excel? Has anybody used? Yes, no? Okay, some of you have actually used it. Flash fill is very, very important option. Let me see if I have some data to show you. Flash fill. Okay, no worries. I don't have data. Let us just create some data. Okay, let us create some sample data and then I'll show you. Let me just rename it as flash fill. Right. So let me create some random data. For example, employee ID. Okay, employee name. Let us take this data. I think I have a file in employee master. Let us take directly the data from there. Let us take this data itself. Yeah. Let us take this data only. Right. So this is the data that I have. Now what I'm going to do is that I am going to add the name of some of the departments. Okay. I'm going to create another column, maybe. Okay, let us create some initials for a department. For example, operation, it is ops. Okay. HR, it is HR. Okay. Then what department is there? Finance, it is FIN. Okay. I am just copy pasting this data randomly. Okay. So we can use that same option. Go to special. Okay. Go to special, blanks. Okay. Let me just quickly put it. Okay. So this is how I have put it. Now I am just creating a data. Okay. just to show you. Okay, so now see, sometimes we have our data in this fashion. Now what's happening is, in employee ID, it is not only employee ID, it has some portion of department also. But I want a department as a separate column. If I want to have a department as a separate column, okay, right? But in this case, what is happening? I have employee ID underscore department, right? Clear? Now, there are 2-3 ways of resolving it. One is text to column. I guess you might have seen how we can do a text to column. So we can go and do a text to column. How? Let us create this data. Let us select this data. Go on to data, and there's an option called text to column. So once you click on text to column, it will show you on what basis do you want to break this column. So I will break this column based on delimited. So what is the delimiter? The delimiter is underscore. So I'll just click on next and see. Right now, in my option, the tab is selected. So instead of tab, I'll go into others because my underscore is not there in the list. So I'll just go into other and click underscore. Can you see this? Once I write underscore, the entire data at the bottom is getting split into 2 columns, right? Next, finish. Okay. So see, my department is separated from my employee ID. Okay, this is one of the way of doing it. Now, for example, you want an easier method. You don't want to do what we say. You don't want to do a text to column. Okay, is there any easy way? So, is there any easy way? Yes, the option is flash fill. Okay. Now, flash fill, how flash fill works? Okay, it is very, very easy. Just write the first 3. Okay, write the first 3 manually. For example, 1001 underscore ops. This is ops. This is HR. Can you see this? What did I do? I just wrote the first one manually. OPS. Enter. I am going to write the second one, HR. And see, once I write HR, see, system is smart enough to analyze that you are trying to extract a particular pattern of values, right? So you are trying to extract a particular part of a column. Okay, system is smart enough to do that. So you just write the first and second one. You just press enter. Can you see this? And all the separation is 100% accurate. Okay, so that is what is flash fill. Again, a very, very important tool. And see, this is how the icon of flash fill comes. If you want to undo flash fill, you can undo it also. Okay, so this is again a very, very important option. Clear? I hope this flash fill is clear, right? Okay, super. Yeah. So we are entering into some really serious formulas now. Okay. First is VLOOKUP. Okay. Let us go and I'll show you how a VLOOKUP works. I guess you might be knowing the formula, but still it can be a good refresher. Let me just take this VLOOKUP. Okay. Now, how VLOOKUP works is, so for example, this is an employee related data. Now, what I want is, I don't want the entire employee data. I want to extract some data related to some employees. Okay. How can I do that? I can do that with the help of VLOOKUP. How? Let me just put a formula called VLOOKUP. So what is the lookup value? See, the best part about Excel formulas is that whatever the formula is, it is going to tell you what you need to select. You just should know what is what. So in this case, lookup value is the value which related to which I want the data. So I want the data related to ID 5. Okay, that becomes my lookup value. So I'll click on this and comma. Clear? Now, table array. That means from what table do you want to have the value? Okay, so this is the table. So I'll click and select the entire table. Now, after selecting the table, my job is not done. I need to press F4, that is to fix my table, so that my table becomes immovable. Otherwise, my table will keep on moving with the cell values. This is what we call fixing the cells, fixing the range of cells. Okay, clear? Right? So I have done two things. I have put the lookup value, table array, and comma. Now it is asking me column index. That means in which column do you have your data? So if ID is my first column, then first name is my second column, last name is my third column, and so on. So right now in my first value, I want first name. Okay. So for first name, I need to put what? 2. Don't put 1. 1 is the ID, because you have selected the table. From the selection, which column do you want to have the value of? Okay. So I'll select 2 and press bracket. So see, for this employee ID, that is 5, the name of the employee is Arpit. Okay, so if I change the employee ID, so my name will also change. Clear? This is how you can extract your data with the help of VLOOKUP. Now, if I want to copy this entire formula in the entire cells, I cannot do directly, because this, can you see this? So for example, let me just show you how bad it becomes when you copy it. So if I copy here and paste it, see, the lookup value gets changed. Correct? So I don't want the lookup value to change. Lookup value will always be the 7 only. Okay. Now, if you want to fix a row, then you need to select this $ in the middle. And if you want to fix the column, you have to put $ in the front. So in this case, what do I need to do? If I need to fix this I-21, that is a row data, I want to put $ in the middle. How can I put $ in the middle? I can keep on pressing F4. So if I press F4, F4. So can you see this? My $ is in the middle now. So if you keep on pressing F4, so 2-3 things will happen. One is you will have both the sides at $. That means that range has been fixed. That will always be fixed. If you put $ in the middle, that means this row will be fixed. And if you put $ in the front, so that column is fixed. Okay. So in this case, I am going to fix this. Again, I am getting a wrong value. That means I need to change it to, yeah, this. Now see, again, my value is coming the same, that is name. Why so? Because, can you see this 2? It is returning me whatever is the value in the second column index. So whenever I am going to copy this data, I need to change the column index to 3. then 4, then 5, then 6. So see, this kind of VLOOKUP can allow you to actually do a copy paste. And the best part is once you change the employee ID, everything will be changed. This is the dynamic way of putting your form, values with the help of VLOOKUP, right? Correct? Is that clear? Now let us see what is HLOOKUP. Okay. HLOOKUP is just opposite to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is nothing but vertical lookup. HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup. Right? So sometimes your values are in horizontal format. As you can see, particulars B and C. So B and C, if you see, these are in columns. That is horizontal, right? Sometimes my value are in horizontal format. Just a second. Yeah. Right. So right now my lookup values. So see in this VLOOKUP, my lookup value were in vertical format. Right. Vertical means it was in a single column. Okay. But in HLOOKUP, my lookup values are in the form of columns. So in this case, how can I put my formula? Okay. Again, very, very simple. It is very, very simple. Let me just put it for you. So for example, for B, I want sales and profit. Okay. I want to have sales and profit. Okay. So I'll just put a simple formula. This time I'm going to put HLOOKUP. Lookup value. This time the lookup value is this only. Table array will not be this one. Table array will be this one. From this one. This will be my table array. Why? Because I want the sales value. Okay. Correct. I'll just freeze the table. Comma. Which row do I want? First one or second one? Sorry. I'll just put second and bracket close. So see, 2000 is the value for B. It is showing the correct value. Is that clear? Now, same way, if I want to have the C value, I can have the C value. Same way, if I want to put for profit, I'll just put is equals to HLOOKUP. Now for profit, again, I need to click on the lookup value, comma, bracket, space. Now the table, I'll go all the way towards profit. I'll go all the way down to the profit. Now from first column, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth column is my profit. Okay, so I'll just freeze it, put 4, 0. Can you see this? For B, just a second, there's some issue. 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5. I'm really sorry. Okay. For B, I think there is some issue. Value is not coming correct. Just a second. Let me just put it again. HLOOKUP. Lookup value, that is B, comma, space, table array. Table array is starting from A. Okay, this is second, third, fourth, fifth. My fifth row has profit. Okay. 5, comma, exact match. Okay. Now see my correct value is coming. 400. So can you see this? B, for B, the profit is 400, so it is coming 400. Okay. For C, the profit is 600, the value is coming 600, correct? Okay, great. Let us not break the flow. Let us just go with it. So I guess VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP is clear, right? Okay, so let us take a break at 1:30, right? Okay. Now, if condition, again, a very, very important, conditional, formulas that are there. Okay. If function, okay. If function is very, very important function. Okay. That you almost everybody has to use it on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So what is if condition? These are very, very simple. It is just that, you have to follow certain rules in if condition and your job is done. For example, let me just show you first one. If the amount is over 10,000, so in this case, amount column, if the amount is more than 10,000, the rate of discount will be 5%. So if I want to calculate discount, okay, if the value is more than 10,000, rate of discount is 5%. If the value is less than equal to 10,000, that means the discount is 1%. So I want the percentage of discount. I don't want to calculate the discount. I only want the percentage of discount based on the value. Okay. So I can create a simple if condition. If logical test. Okay. What is the logical test? If 10,000, this cell D4 is greater than 10,000. Normal, mathematics calculation. So if it is greater than 10,000, okay. So see here, the logical test is this condition. In if formula, the logical test is the condition that you are putting in, right? Comma. If this condition is true, what value should come? So if this condition is true, the value should come 5%, correct? So I'll just write 5%, comma. What if the condition is false? That means if this condition is false, that means automatically the value will come under the second condition. There is no other third condition that I have. So I can directly write 1% and bracket closed. Simple condition where I have my first cell greater than 10,000, percentage is 5%, otherwise 1%. Enter. Okay. Now it is showing 0.001. So if I convert this into percentage, so I'll get the correct answer. So I'll just copy and paste it. So see where there is more than 10,000 value, I am getting 5%. Here also I have more than 10,000, so I am getting 5%. That means my logic is correct. So if function is nothing but putting a logic to your formula, right? Let us see a complicated one where there are three conditions. Okay. Usually life is not that easy of having two conditions. Okay, yes or no. Okay, there are always 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 conditions also. How to put those conditions? That is called nested if. Nested if means you have a if formula and you are putting one more if formula into it. That is what we call nested if. Okay. Now, nested if, how to create it? Again, the same logic. Okay. Same pattern is there. You have to just see the same logic applies here also. If this value is greater than 10,000, then 5%. This was the same logic which was there earlier also. But here, there are not two conditions. There are three conditions. Now, after one more comma, I need to write one more if condition. If. Again, logical test. One more logical test I need to do. Again, this value is greater than how much? 8,000. So I'll just put 8,000. Comma. If this condition gets satisfied, then what value should come? 2%. So I'll put 2%. Now, if both the conditions don't get satisfied, what is the third value? 1%. I'll directly write comma 1% and press enter. Can you see this? Now, if you check this formula, I have three conditions into it. One is if it is greater than 10,000, 5%. But if again, if it is greater than 8,000, then the condition, the value would be 2%, otherwise 1%. Okay. So this way, this is what we call nested if. What is the meaning of nested if? I have an if condition, and again, inside if there is one more if condition. That is what we call nested if. Okay. And copy and paste it. So see, wherever there is 2%, the value you will find more than 8,000. Can you see this? More than 8,000, but less than equal to 10,000. Clear? So this is what we call nested if. I hope you are getting it right. Now, let us complicate the things more. Let us complicate the things more. This is a simple plain if nested if. Okay. See, how if condition can have a text value also, but depending upon what logic do you write. Okay. For example, let me give you an example. If this is equals to this, so if I write in two cells, okay. Okay. Now, if I write a condition, if this is equals to this, then the icon, the word should come y. Otherwise, the word should come n. So see, it is going to come. Okay. So it is not only on the value, it can be done on the text also. Okay. Now, if and or, okay. Now there are two separate formulas, that is or and. Okay. Now what I am going to do, I am going to combine or and formula inside if. Okay. That might be a bit, you might find it a bit overwhelming, but it is not that difficult. Okay. I'll just show you. Let us understand the condition. If the region is east or west, that means I have a region column. If the region is either east or west, the rate should be 2000. Not rate, value. Here we are calculating rate. Here I am giving flat discount in terms of value. So if my region is east or west, the discount should be 2000. Other than that, the discount should be 1000. Now the best way of writing this formula is imagine. The best way of writing this formula is imagine there is no or. Let us write a simple formula. If the region is east, then the value is 2000, otherwise 1000. This is what I am going to write. What I am going to write? I am trying to make my life easy. What I am going to do is that I am going to write a simple formula where the region is east, the value should be 2000. And if it is not east, the value should be 1000. Then after that, after writing that formula, I am going to add this or condition separately so that I can get my formula correct. Clear? Let us do it. If my this region is equals to how much, what? And where, no, always remember, whenever you are writing text, you have to put in under inverted commas. Okay. So whenever you are writing text, you need to put under inverted commas. So if this my region is east, okay, so I'll just put east. Then what should be the value? The value should be 2000, otherwise 1000. Simple logic. So this is my logic. But here the problem is I am not considering west. Yes or no? Correct? Now let me just edit this formula for you. Here before F4, I can write a formula called or. Now what OR formula does is it allows you to write multiple logic. So OR is OR bracket F4, that is the cell, is equals to east, comma, again F4 is equals to west. That means any of this condition gets satisfied, the value should be 2000. Earlier, I put only one condition, that is east. Now, instead of east, I am putting OR and east-west. So I have put 2 times the 2 conditions. Logic, can you see this? Logic 1 and logic 2. So I have tried to add more logic. Earlier in my single formula, I had only one logic. Correct? Yes. Now, my formula is complete. East or west, the value should be 2000. Correct? So, right, press enter. Now see, wherever there is east and west, can you see the value 2000? That means my logic is correct, right? And wherever there is north and south, the value is 1000. So the benefit of OR option is you can add multiple logics. N number of logic you can add. Okay, you can add more logics to it, which is why this formula is if OR is very, very important. Now comes if and. Okay, same logic. If and if or is the same logic. And will allow, see what is the difference between and or? And means first part should be there and the second part should be there. Both should satisfy. The condition should be satisfied both. But in or, either of the one condition gets satisfied. Clear? That is the difference between and or. But the formula is the same. Correct? So let us see. If the region is east and the department is A, that means if the region, so I have department in my data also. Can you see this? So if the region is east and department is A, then 2000, otherwise 1000. Clear? Or maybe 3000. The value is changed here. 3000. Okay. So if the region is east and the department is A, then 3000, otherwise 1000. Correct? So let us try to put, again, always try to put the simplest of the formula first and then try to edit it. So simplest of the formula is if the region is east, then 3000, otherwise 1000. Okay, let us remove the and part right now. Let us write a simple formula. If if bracket region is equals to east, bracket close, comma, then the value should be 3000. Otherwise, the value should be 1000. Bracket close. So this is a plain formula that I've written, but here I have ignored the and condition. I have ignored the and condition. Press F2. Now, where there was an or formula that I put, I am going to put and formula. And bracket. Now, and will also allow me to write various logics. Comma. Second is department should be A. So let us go into the department. So this is department is equals to what should be the value of department? A. Bracket close. Now see, I have written 2 logics. So now both the condition will satisfy, then only 3000 will come. This tells me that if both the condition logic 1, logic 2, both the logics are correct, true, then only this 3000 will come, otherwise 1000 will come. Clear? Let us enter. So see, I'll only get 3000 in few, only one. Only one. Can you see this? There's only one case where A and east is getting matched. That's why it is giving me only 3000 in a single cell. Now here, if I make it A, what will happen? It will give me 3000. Can you see this? Number is getting changed. Clear? Now, the next is if error. Okay, if error is very simple. I think you might have used it also, but let me just show you. For example, here, let me just copy this, paste it. Okay. So now this is a VLOOKUP formula that we have used. Now, for example, I am trying to put some value which is not there in the data. So now, right now, my ID, the ID that I have, it is from 1 to 7. And if I try to put 8 here, what will happen? Oh, 8 data is also there. How come? It is not there, right? How it is coming? Okay. So let me just show you by putting a formula. Okay. So for example, if I put a VLOOKUP formula, okay. And if I try to search this ID in this table, which is not there, okay, then what will happen? Exact match, if I put, I'll get an NA. This is hashtag NA is called as error in Excel. Now, let me just copy this formula quickly. Maybe let me just put it like this. See. Okay, let me just put it in the single cell. Now see, pay attention. Here, I am trying to see this 10 value, which is not available in the data. Now, it is okay if it is not available, but instead of hashtag NA, I should get a note that no data found. Instead of NA, instead of error field, I should get a notification that no data found. How can I get it? With the help of if error formula. So press F2, just put an if error. Now, if error, the formula is exact, here, comma. So what if error does is that if this value, whatever the value that is going to come out of this formula, if this value is an error, that is hashtag NA, then what should I return? You don't return hashtag NA. You return what? You write no data. Inverted commas, bracket close. Simple. So what I'm trying to say is, if there is no data, or don't put hashtag NA, put no data. So see, instead of hashtag NA, it will put no data. So if I put 5 here, then the name is coming. But if I am trying to find something which is not there in the table, it is showing me no data. This I can change it based on my requirement. So I can put no data found also. Clear? So this is what we call if error. Again, it is always suggested you should put if error along with VLOOKUP so that you don't get hashtag NA error. You should define that, look, if this value is not available, please put no data found as a value into it. Now index match. Okay, index plus match we are going to see together. Okay. Now what index plus match does is index plus match. Okay. What it does is that it is a substitute of, or I should write here, substitute of VLOOKUP. Now you might be thinking that if we already have VLOOKUP formula, why do we go for index plus match, which is a bit complicated one? Why do we go for it? The reason is, if you see here in VLOOKUP, this value, can you see this? This value is not dynamic. This is static. I need to put this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again and again. So as you can see here, can you see this? The value is getting changed. Right? Now, what if I am too lazy to put all these values? I want a permanent solution. I want a solution where I don't have to do anything manual. My entire thing should come from this formula. I don't want to write anything. Even 2, 3, 4 column index number also I don't want to give. Okay. Can I do it? Yes. The option is index plus match. Okay. So again, I am going to follow what formula tells me. Okay. I am going to follow that. I'm not going to do anything additional. We have to just follow what the formula asks me to do. So let me just put a 4 so that I can get the value. Okay. Because 8, any which ways, the database doesn't have 8 as a ID. Okay. Is equals to index. Now see, when I put index, returns a value or reference of the cell at the intersection of a particular row. Okay. Don't think of trying to interpret it. Okay. Just see what I am doing. Okay. I'll just click on index. So it is asking me array. Okay. It is asking me the array. That means, sorry, this one, index reference. What reference do I want to index? So this is nothing but the lookup value that I told you, right? The lookup value that I told you. It is just like a reference is nothing but lookup value. So what was the lookup value? For me, the lookup value is this only, ID. I need to get the data based on ID only. So reference is this, correct? Comma. Row number. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So let me just write index. Okay. So let me show you here. Can you see this? Here it will be a better understanding. Okay. Now see, index is the formula that I've used. A4 to F11. What is A4 to F11? If you see here, if I go into the table, I'll show you. Yeah, this one. Can you see this? A4 to F11. A4, that means A4 to F11. That is the entire table. Okay. The first thing that it asks me is to create an array. Okay. So I have taken the entire table, comma. Now it is asking me to match. It has taken the entire table as a array. So that means I am going to get all the value out of this entire table. Now that is okay, but there are two things that I need to match. First is my row, that ID, this one ID should be 4. So what I have done, I have created a match formula. Okay, first I'll show you and then I'll try to write that formula also. Okay. So in match, I need to match what? I need to match this value. That is my, what we say, ID. Comma, match from where? My ID column is this, A4 to A11. So I put A4 to A11. And my match type will always be 0. Okay. Then comma, it is not enough. Okay. I need to do two-way match because I want to find the column also. So how to find a column? I'll again put a match. Okay. Here I'll put, I should match first name out of this table. So what is first name? First name is J13. First name I have put, comma. Where is my first name? The first name is from A4 to F4. So A4 to F4, correct? And comma 0 and bracket close. That's how I am getting the value. Now I have showed you the syntax. Let us try to write the formula. Okay. So index table array. So for me, table array is the entire table that is there. So I'll just select entire table, F4. I'm going to fix this table so that the table doesn't move here and there, comma. Now for row number, I need to add two things, two match functions. One match is I need to match the ID. Okay. So let me just write a formula called match. So under match, lookup value. This is similar to your VLOOKUP. Okay, so lookup value is this. Yes or no? Lookup value is this. Let me just freeze it. Correct. Comma, lookup array. So this ID is in which array? The ID is in A4 to A11. So I'll just select A4 to A11 and fix it. Comma, it will go into exact match. Double click, bracket close. Now, again, I need to match. I need to match what? I need to match the column heading also. So I'll just put match. Again, lookup value. This time, my lookup value would not be this. My lookup value will be this. Okay. Clear? And freeze it. Comma. What is my lookup array? My lookup array will be the headings only. That is A4 to F4. A4 to F4. Freeze it. Comma. Always exact match. And bracket close. And if you press enter, your formula will be there. So see, it is actually, let me just make it 5 so that you can compare. So see, it is giving me the same value which my VLOOKUP was giving. But the magic is if I copy and paste. Okay, there is some fixation problem that I have done. Okay. Okay. Yes. So you have to fix the columns correctly. Yes. Now it should come. Can you see this? Now in my VLOOKUP, what do I need to do? I need to just copy paste and change this index. But in index plus match, what do I need to do? I need to just copy and paste it to all the values and my exact data will be coming. So if I want to verify, I can do this is equals to this. Correct? So this is how this index plus match works. Okay. This is the best way of putting your data. Is that clear? Yes, no? Anybody wants me to explain it again? This can be a bit complicated initially because there is no other formula like this in Excel. It is a kind of a different formula. Anybody wants me to explain it again? I am happy to explain again. Okay. Jeevan is saying, let us explain again. Okay. Let us see. Let us explain. Let me explain it again. Okay. Yeah. So see, what I need to do is that my only issue is here in VLOOKUP again and again, I don't want to write this 2, 3, 4, and so on. I want a permanent solution where I just write the formula once and I copy paste it in all the data that I have instead of putting a column index like this manually. How can I do that? The answer is index plus match. Okay. Now let me put index as a formula. So under index, so see, this can be confusing. It is giving you two different kind of indexes. So don't get carried away. Just follow whatever is written in the first formula. So first formula says array. Array is nothing but the table that you need to select. So I am going to select the entire table. That is A4 to F11. Can you see this? A4 to F11. And just freeze it. That means you just make it F4. Comma. Now table has been selected. And now row number. Row number and column number. Can you see this? Row number and column number. It is asking me row number, column number. Now row number, column number, I don't want to put manually. If I want to put manually, I can put manually, but I don't want to put. I want these values to decide which row data I want to get. So for row number, I am writing a formula called match. Okay. So under match, lookup value is this. So I'll just put a lookup value and freeze it properly. Correct? Comma, lookup array. Now my ID is in which column? My ID is in A4 to A11. So I'm just going to select that. Okay, don't select any other thing, otherwise the formula will be wrong. Comma. That's it. I'll always go for exact match. So 0, comma. Now my job is not 100% done. Still, I need to write one more match because I need to match the column, right? Match lookup value. This time, this would not be my lookup value. My lookup value will be this, my column heading, because I want to match the column, right? I want to match the row also. I want to match the column also. That's how I'm going to get the index. Okay. So just, freeze it accordingly. Comma, lookup array. So this columns are in which array? From A4 to F4. From A4 to F4, all the headings are there in this range. So I'm just going to select this range, comma. Let me put exact match. Okay, bracket close and press enter. So see, the same value is coming, but the best part is I can just copy paste it. So just, this is something that I also forget. Okay, this row and this column. Okay, freezing. So you just keep in mind and copy and paste it. Can you see this? Exact data what VLOOKUP gave me. This formula is also giving me the same data, but the best part is I don't want to write this 1, 2, 3, 4 manually. Clear? That is the role of this formula. Okay, so now comes XLOOKUP. Again, very, very good formula to explore. Okay. Let us take this data only and I'll show you how XLOOKUP works. This is also a substitute of VLOOKUP. Right? Now this is a new age formula. Yeah. Sam, your Excel will not show because whatever formula that I'm using right now, this is Microsoft 365. It is in Microsoft 365 edition. Index plus match, you can use it, but XLOOKUP, you cannot use it because in a new version of, like in the licensed version of Office 365, it is available, right? So now see, XLOOKUP is for those who have Office 365. Then you can avoid index plus match also, because the same thing can happen with XLOOKUP. Okay, correct. So those who have Microsoft 365 subscription, okay, you can use this XLOOKUP formula. Most of the people who have their Office laptops, they might be having Office 365 paid version only. Okay, because these offices have to take all these subscriptions. They cannot run it for free, right? Because there are a lot of penalties. So majorly, Office laptops, you will find Office 365. Okay. So now what XLOOKUP does is XLOOKUP is exactly the same as VLOOKUP or index plus match, but it is a simpler version. It is very simple. See how it works. Is equals to XLOOKUP. Lookup value. So in VLOOKUP also it asks me a lookup value. I'll just write comma lookup array. So right now I want to actually see. Okay, I want to actually see where this ID is. So my lookup array is this one. Correct. ID is in my A4 to A11. I'll just F4, comma, return array. If this ID is correct, what column should be returned? The column that should be returned is this one. First name, because I want first name, correct? Right? Clear? I'll press enter. Can you see this? Now see, life becomes quite easier with these new age formulas. Okay. This is the most easiest way of putting a VLOOKUP. The best part is here, you don't have to write any reference column number also. Correct? But don't freeze this one. If you freeze this one, then every time you will have the same value. I want this to be changed. So let me just copy paste this. Sorry, just a second. Let me just freeze this. Yeah, can you see this? Now see, I have frozen this row. I have put the lookup array, that is the array that was required, and whatever is the required array. So required array, I am not fixing it. So what will happen? It will keep on changing. So in the second one, it is automatically taking C, that is last name. In the third one, it is automatically taking the D, and so on. Okay. So this is the easiest way of, creating your lookups. Again, as I told you that Excel is evolving every day. So they every day in their new edition, they have their additional formulas. So what they found was index plus match was, again, as you might have also experienced, it is a bit difficult formula to put. Okay, sometimes when you are putting it for the first time, it is very difficult to get it correct. So they have come up with a simpler option. And in VLOOKUP, there is one more thing. You have to go from left to right. Okay, to put the column index, right? So from left to right, second column I need to put. Okay. What if your ID is this side? Instead of this side, your ID is this side. Then you cannot go from left to right because in the right hand side, there is no data. So for example, let me just remove it from here and put it here. See, my lookup is getting distracted. Can you see this? But this is intact. Can you see this? That is what is the power of new formulas. Even index plus match is also doing justice. See, index plus match with all these formulas, these are actually not dependent on the position of the cell. That is the main difference between VLOOKUP, index plus match, and XLOOKUP. Correct? Given a choice, see, frankly speaking, what I do is that I have stopped using VLOOKUP. I have stopped using index plus match because I have XLOOKUP in my system and I always use that. Clear? Is that clear? I think transpose we have already done. Offset, let me just give you, tell you offset formula also. So what is offset? Okay. Offset is a simple formula. It can be helpful in some cases. So see, what offset does is that it actually returns some value based on a reference. So for example, this is my reference. So I'll just put reference, comma. I want from this value, I want to get data for one row. So I'll just put one and column one and bracket close. Just a second. Let me put it here so that is equal to offset. I think something wrong with this formula. Okay, I'll get back. I'll tell you offset formula later. Okay, let us go and see some important formulas. Okay. Yeah, statistical formulas. Okay, this is very important, especially SUMIF. Okay, SUMIF is very, very important formula. One of the most important formulas that we should use. Okay, where is SUMIF sheet? I think I have a sheet where I have put my SUMIF formula. Let me just see. Otherwise, we'll create one and do it. Just a second, guys. Yeah, can you see this? Let me just rename it as SUMIF. So SUMIF and SUMIFS, okay. Instead of learning SUMIF, okay, you should learn SUMIFS, okay, because SUMIFS gives some formula everybody knows, right? How to do a sum formula in Excel. Now there is SUMIF and there is SUMIFS. Now what I want you to do is you just ignore this formula, okay. This formula you just ignore it, because this SUMIFS formula is going to work for SUMIF and SUMIFS both, and it is easier to apply. Now pay attention how it works, okay. Let me just remove this. Now see, I have division, region, and revenue, okay. So I have division, region, and revenue. Now, if I want to have a division-wise revenue, there are 2-3 options to create it. One is I can create a pivot. I can create a pivot where I can show division and revenue. But what if I don't want to create a pivot? I want to create a value. Is there any option? Yes, the option is SUMIFS. I can put a formula of SUMIFS. How? So I have three divisions: utility, productivity, and gain. Okay. Now I want to have a sum of, for example, utility. The sum should come how much? 22,60,000. For productivity, the sum should come 25,50,000. For gain, the sum should come 27,30,000. Correct? So I can use a formula, which is a conditional formula. See, if wherever there is an if, that means there is condition. And if S, that is more than one condition. You got it? If it is if, only if, that is only single condition. If it is if S, that is multiple condition, right? Now see, let me write a formula. It's SUMIFS is very simple. SUMIFS, okay. Sum range. What do you want to sum? So I want to sum this range. So I'll just put the entire range. So putting the range, there are 2 options. One is you can just select the range like this, or you just select the entire column. I usually do an entire column. Why? Because if I add something at the bottom, it will get automatically added. Clear? So the sum range is the column that you want to sum, comma. Criteria range. What criteria do you want to put? Okay, criteria range is this, because I want to do what? I want to find this division based on this. So my criteria range is this, comma. What criteria? What is criteria? Criteria is utility. So I'll select this. 3 things, that's it. What I've done first is my sum range, the range from which I want the value. Second is the column from which I want the division. And what is the division value that I want? I want the division value as utility. Bracket close. So see, the value that I wanted was 22,60,000. I am getting it. Okay, without creating a pivot. Clear? Same way, if I copy paste it, I'll get all the values at one place. So this is what we call creating a SUMIF. Simple, but very, very effective. We on a regular basis use it quite often. Clear? Is it clear? SUMIFS is very, very important formula, by the way, just to tell you. Okay. Let us see some of the formulas related to count. Okay. Count is again a very good formula to count rows, to count some unique values, and so on. Okay. So let me just put a simple count formula. Is equals to count. I want to count the number of rows. So I'll just write the count formula and select the range. Bracket close. Just a second. Can you see this? So this is doing nothing. This is just counting the total rows. So my count is 12. So this simple count formula gives me the number of rows that are there in my data. Okay. Now comes count if. Now I want to count based on certain condition. I want to count the transaction where division is utility. That means I should get only 3 as an answer, because in 3 transaction I have division utility. Okay. How to do that is equals to count if range. So I will want to count this. Okay. Comma, what criteria? I want utility. Bracket close. So see, the answer is coming 10. In the same way, if I want to try to write game, the answer will come 5, because there are 5 transactions related to game division. Clear? Yes, no? Now comes, as I told you, if is a single condition, if s is multiple condition, right? Count if s is equals to count if s. What is the criteria range? Criteria 1 range, because it knows that there are multiple criteria. I want to count the transactions where division is productivity and region is North America. So I am putting 2 conditions. What conditions I am putting? First is division is what? Division is equals to productivity and what is the second range? I'll just make it 15 so that. What is the second range? The region should be North America. Correct? So see, only one transaction is there. So if I just change something in the data, can you see this? So wherever there is a combination of productivity and North America, it will give me the count. That is what we call count if s. Clear? So let us see what important thing that is still pending is. Okay. Let me just show you left, right, mid, so that you can use that formulas, and then we'll directly go to our AI part. Okay. So data cleaning. Okay. This is very, very important. Okay. Whenever you are going to get some data, there is always some kind of issues that might be there in the data, right? As you can see, the same data is there, but there is a lot of space. Okay. A lot of different things are there. How to remove the space? So for example, can you see this additional space that is there? So if there are 10,000 line items, I cannot remove it manually. I need to depend on certain formula. Okay. So there is one formula called trim. So if I click on trim and text, so what will happen? Everything that is there, will be aligned. Okay. At the same time, if I change it to paste value, if you can see, all the space is gone, all the extra space is gone. Clear? So this way, trim is a very important formula which can be used to actually trim your data if there is any extra space that is there. Okay, sometimes what happens is that when we take the data from text or any other file, there's a lot of space. Clear? So there is a lot of space that is there. So that we can easily remove it. Now there's formula called lowercase. So sometimes we want the data in lowercase, uppercase. Okay. So that formula is also there. So if I click on upper, so I can, right now it is already upper. So let me just put lower. So it converts all the text into lowercase. And same way, we have one more option that is called upper. So if you want to change a particular column to uppercase, all uppercase, so you can do that. So these are very, very easy formulas, but you should have that in mind so that you can do your work properly. Right? Now, there is one more formula called proper. What is proper? In normal language, what we do is that we write the first letter as capital of a single word. Okay. So if you don't want all the caps, if you want first letter to be caps, you can do that with the help of proper. So just put proper. So see, each word first letter will be capital and rest will be small. So in data, at data level, what you need to do, you need to use proper. Okay. Usually we use proper. Okay. So that the data should not either be in all caps or should be in all small. Okay. So trim we have covered. Okay. Related to trim, we have covered uppercase, lowercase, and everything. Let us just see one very important formula that is called filter. Okay. Till now, how do we do filter? So if I want to filter something, if I want to filter fashion, so I filter like this. That is what we do. Okay. Now there is in MS again, in MS Office 365. Okay, there is a new function that is called filter. So if I click on filter, array, what array do you want to filter? Okay, what array do you want to filter? That is the entire table. Array means entire table I want to filter, comma. So what is the criteria for which you want to filter? Okay. Just a second. Let me just see whether I'm correct. Include. Just a second. Let me just show you. Yeah, correct. Here. Can you see this? Filter formula, the entire table. Okay. A23 to C35. Correct? Then what filter do you want to put? So I want to put filter based on division. So A23 to A35. Correct? Is equals to what? I have written productivity here. So I have given a reference. You can write it manually also. So this is called dynamic filtering. What is dynamic filtering? For example, if I change here, if I change the division to utility, so my data will be automatically filtered based on the selection that I do. Okay, how to create it? Let me just show you. Is equals to filter array. Array, as I told you, is the complete array. Correct? Press F4. Which column do you want to filter? This time I'm going to filter region. So I select region. Click right. Is equals to what should be the region? The region should be UAE. Let's write this. What if empty? Let's write 0. Can you see this? All the data related to UAE has been filtered automatically. Now, instead of writing this, can I do a referencing? I can reference with this cell. So nothing will come. Okay. I'll reference with this cell, nothing will come. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put UAE here. So see, my data is getting filtered. This is called advanced filtering, right? Where based on this selection, my entire data will get changed. Okay. So for example, if I put North America, so see my data is getting changed with the help of North America, right? Again, very, very important option, but available in Office 365. So all your official laptops will have this function. Clear? Yes, no? Okay. Let us see left, right, mid function also. This is very important function again. Sometimes what happens is that sometimes you have a data like this. RAH under LEKH or maybe OPS 1. Okay. RAP underscore FIN underscore 2 and so on. Some this kind of a data is there. Now, if you want to have, there are 3 formulas, okay, to separate this. Okay, obviously we have seen a separate option that is text to column, but there is one more option which is left, right, and mid. What it does is, from left side, if I want 3 letters, I can get it. How? Left. Which column? This. How many characters do I want? I want 3. Can you see this? If I write 4, then that underscore will also come. Can you see this? So this is left function, same way. Right function. From right, I want 1 cell. Okay. So comma 1. So I can get the right one. Clear? So this is left and right function. Now there is one more function that is called mid. What mid does is, it is going to tell you the middle value. It is going to tell you the middle value. So what middle value are you going to put here? So here I am going to get this OPS. I want to get this OPS. Okay. So I just select this comma. What is the start number? Now the start number will not be 1. The start number will be the start of this OPS. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, right? 5th digit is O, right? Which I want to get. So I'll just write 5 and number of characters. I want 3 because I want OPS as the mid. So see, I am getting OPS here. I'll get the mid 3 letters with the help of this mid formula. Okay. This is how you can actually write these left, right, and mid formula. I hope you guys got it right. Yes, no? Is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Yes, no? Now, one more formula that is important, that is concatenate. Concatenate is nothing but adding 2 text, adding 2 values that you can do in Excel. For example, usually we have this kind of a data, right? We have name and surname separately. So we know how to separate it by text to column. But how to add is this? Use a concatenate function, text1, comma, text2. So see, my name can be joined like this. But here, because there is no space, I can create some space, something like this, and I'll get my name correctly. This is what we call concatenate formula, right? Clear? Now let us go to the most interesting part of today's session, that is AI. Okay, how to leverage AI for creating formulas. Okay, So there is a ready-made website, okay, that is called Formula Bot. That is an AI tool, okay. So if you go into Formula Bot, this I'll ask you to start using it from today itself, okay. Just go and create a basic login. It is free. It is completely free. Not completely free, sorry. It is paid, but free version has a lot of features, okay. Let me just register here. I don't want to sign up because I already have an account. I have an account. Okay, it is asking me to log in. Let me just log in from my account. Okay, so this is Formula Bot. Again, very, very good AI tool to generate our formulas. Okay, right. So see, there are various options. Generate an Excel formula, chat with your data. Okay, clean and prepare your data, label / classify your data. Okay, there are various options that are available, but let me just show you generate an Excel formula. Okay, now see here, if you go into generate, okay, here it will ask you to select whether you want to generate a formula for Excel or Google Sheet. That is the best part of this tool. Here you can actually generate a formula for Excel also. You can generate a formula for Google Sheet also. Right now, I want to generate a formula for Excel. Okay, so I'll click on this. So don't forget to click on this, otherwise your formula will not get generated. I want to generate or explain. I want to generate. What problem are you trying to solve or formula do you want to understand? Okay, so now there are two things that you can do with this. One is you can write a formula and try to understand it. Okay, second is you can generate a formula. Let us try to analyze both the things. Okay, so I have an Excel sheet. Remember, we have if condition, correct? I have it if condition, right? Which I showed you. So see, this is the if condition that I have. Clear? But here you need to mention your conditions clearly. So this is the condition that I have for if. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just write some prompt. Okay, so these tools are based on some prompts. Okay, and you also need to tell the tool that which column has what. Okay, so I'll say that I have amount column. In which column do I have amount? D. Right. I have amount in D column. I want to create a new column of discount. Okay, based on the following conditions. Correct. Now I'm going to paste this condition. Whatever condition that was there in my Excel, I have pasted this. Let us see. New column with discount percentage. Submit. So once you write it, okay, it should give you the formula. Can you see this? If I copy this, okay, and here, this was my second condition, right? So if I copy this formula here, I'm just replacing the previous formula. Okay. But here I need to make sure that the selection is correct. So see, it is selecting what? D1, but my data is where? D4. So I need to put D4. That's it. Can you see this? Again, I'll just show you. So see, what did I do? I have an amount in D column, or I'll just write D4, just to be very specific. I have amount in D4 column. I want to create a new column of discount percentage based on the following condition. So I have put the condition that was there in my Excel table. Now I'll submit it. Okay. Now, see, my formula is changed based on D4. Now what I need to do, I need to just copy this formula. Okay. And let me just remove this and paste that formula. Can you see this? What did I do? I just copied the formula and pasted here. Now I can drag it to all other formulas and I am getting the same result. Now, what is the catch? The catch is in writing these prompts. Okay. You should be very clear. If you are very, very clear with your prompt, it is going to give you any kind of formula. Okay. Even for serious formulas like which one? Index plus match. We can also generate an index plus match with this formula bot. Okay. Right. But you need to mention it clearly. See, for even getting this kind of formula, I need to write two, 3 lines of explanation. Okay. So make sure that you should be very clear, okay, about writing this. Now, let me show you one more thing. Let me go into explained. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a formula, and I'll ask this tool to explain me this formula. Sometimes what happens is that there is some file that comes to you. Now, you see some formula, but you are unable to understand what this formula is doing. So let me just go into, let me just take this one. Okay. Let us write some very complicated formula of index, and I'll ask him to explain it. Let us see what it does. It is generating results. Okay. See, it has written an entire essay on this formula. Okay. Breakdown of the formula. First match function, match is matching this. The part of this formula looks for value in cell JI14. Okay, within range A4 and 11. So it is giving me the entire thesis. It is breaking down the formula. The formula, this formula is powerful way to retrieve data from a table based on dynamic criteria. That means we don't have to write that index number that we used to write, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? Clear? By index plus match, you can create flexible, efficient formulas. Okay. So this is a very powerful tool, okay, which can help you generate your formulas. Okay. Especially, I have used it for if conditions, and I have used it for some very complicated formulas. Okay. So there is one more tool called Perplexity. It also does the same thing. Okay. Here you can attach something. So for example, let us see an invoice. Okay. I am taking a random invoice. Okay.
Select if possible, which is not in tabular form.
No, it is not in tabular form. It is not in tabular form. It is a plain invoice only. So see, this is the invoice. I am taking a screenshot of it. Okay. So what you are going to do is in your mobile, just go into Play Store and install ChatGPT app. Okay. So in ChatGPT app, you will have an option of attaching the files, just the way I am doing it in this tool. Same, exactly the same. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just paste this. Sorry, just a second. I'm going to paste this. Oops. Okay. It is asking me for paid subscription. Yeah. No, it is allowing. Okay, screenshot, it is paid. Okay, no worries. We have other ways. Let me just create a paint. So I'm going to paste here, right? And I'll save this as a JPG. Or PNG will be fine. Let me just save it in the desktop. P1 is the name. Okay, let us see. Let us see I can attach it or not. Desktop. Okay. So for image, it is paid. That's why it is not even showing me this thing. Let me just explore. I have many tools too. Let me just explore some other tools. But ChatGPT allows you, okay? So see, it is allowing me. So I'm just doing it, okay? So I'm just selecting this P1. Now I need to give a scenario to this chat, okay? I keep on getting these invoices every now and then. I want you to record all the details in the invoice in the form of a or in tabular form. So that I can paste it in an Excel sheet. Okay. Let us see. So even if this tool doesn't give you, you have to follow the same steps in ChatGPT because I have done it there. And mobile app is very, very good. So those who have not, installed mobile app of ChatGPT, can you see this? So now this detail, I'll just copy it. So see how much time does it save? Okay, let me just see. So you have copy option here, okay? So you can copy this. Now, with the help of text to column, you can just separate it. But in ChatGPT, it will give you in the format also. Okay. So text to column, I think I have already told you, right? So you can avoid writing all these details. Now, again, one more option that I told you today. Transpose. This is what you wanted. Without even typing anything. Now, what you are going to do in app, okay? Next time, just upload the image. Keep on uploading. It will give you so this prompt you need not write again and again. You just keep on attaching the files. Or you can write, do the same for this, do the same for this. And at the end also, at the end, maybe, when you have 10, 15 invoices, just write a command, compile all. It will compile and give it to you. And, I am surprised it has given me because I thought, ChatGPT is quite powerful, but somehow Claude has also given me that. Okay.